The 2-1 defeat to Manchester City right at the Santiago Bernabéu fortress wasn't just another bad result. It felt like a symbol of Real Madrid's emotional and tactical collapse under Xabi Alonso. Watching their superstar players sink to the ground at the final whistle said it all. It wasn't only exhaustion after 90 minutes of relentless pressure from City, it was the body language of a team falling apart, drained, unsure, and completely lost. The patience of the club's hierarchy and the Madridistas, already stretched thin after weeks of disappointing performances, has finally hit breaking point. This loss was the final push, the moment that backed Alonso into a corner. In his post-match press conference, Xabi Alonso tried to shield his players and cool things down. When asked whether his squad was still fighting for him, the coach answered honestly, "Even in defeat against Man City, I think Real Madrid showed a strong performance. Both teams delivered a professional, high-level Champions League match. When my players give everything they have, I have no complaints." He wrapped up with a declaration about the team's fighting spirit. Taking another loss is obviously hard to swallow, but the important thing is that we fought until the very last minute. At Real Madrid, no one gives up while the game is still alive. But those words sounded out of place and out of touch with what actually happened on the pitch. Despite Alonso's insistence on professionalism and effort, what people saw was a team lacking cohesion, lost in its ideas, and undone by mistake after mistake. In stark contrast to the gloomy atmosphere after their La Liga loss to Celta Vigo, Real Madrid stepped onto the pitch like a wounded beast, desperate to prove their worth. And for nearly half an hour, they produced a rare moment of brilliance, a spark that reminded everyone of the club's golden nights under the Bernabéu lights. In the 28th minute, Jude Bellingham showed his incredible vision, threading a killer pass straight through Manchester City's back line. The ball found Rodrigo, a striker who had been carrying the heavy burden of a long goal drought. With a sharp run and a confident low finish past Gianluigi Donnarumma, he finally shook off that heavy burden. Real Madrid were in front, 1-0. For a brief moment, you could even see relief wash over Xabi Alonso's face. The goal wasn't just a number on the scoreboard. It was a reminder that Real Madrid still know how to strike against a familiar rival. But Rodrigo's goal turned out to be nothing more than a false dawn. Almost immediately, the spark in attack was overshadowed by the frightening fragility of Madrid's defense. The same recurring flaw under Alonso reappeared yet again, an inability to protect a lead. Just 5 minutes after the celebration, the Bernabéu fell silent. City exploited a set piece, one of Madrid's biggest weaknesses this season. Thibaut Courtois made a brilliant save to deny Josko Gvardiol's close-range header, but his heroics meant nothing as the defenders around him froze. Nico O'Reilly, a name many fans barely knew, pounced on the rebound and smashed in the equalizer. In an instant, all the momentum Madrid had built disappeared. And then came the real disaster, courtesy of Antonio Rudiger in the closing minutes of the first half. The German center-back, usually a rock at the heart of the defense, completely misjudged a simple situation inside the box and clumsily brought down Erling Haaland. From the spot, Haaland stayed ice-cold and beat Courtois with ease. Suddenly, City were up 2-1 heading into the break. Madrid went from leading the match to walking down the tunnel deflated, with anxiety hanging over the stadium and the bench alike. The second half was all about Real Madrid's desperate push to stay alive. Xabi Alonso knew he had no room left to back down, but his attacking stars just couldn't find the finishing touch. In the 51st minute, Bellingham had a golden chance, one-on-one with the keeper, yet opted for a delicate chip that didn't come off. A wasted opportunity that could have completely changed the game. Alonso's substitutions only added more fuel to the debate. His decision to leave Kylian Mbappé on the bench, despite the French superstar being available, and instead put his trust in young Arda Güler, simply didn't work. As it often happens in big games, Güler was invisible, lost in a battle of strength and intensity he couldn't keep up with. The one bright spark came when Endrick entered late in the match. The young Brazilian immediately brought energy, power, and unpredictability. But luck betrayed him. His best effort crashed off the crossbar. This win had Pep Guardiola's fingerprints all over it. For the first time in more than 2 years, Manchester City walked out of the Bernabéu with a victory. Pep didn't just win the scoreboard, he won the tactical duel against his former student. He showed the ruthless nature of top-level football. City didn't dominate the ball, but they were brutally efficient, punishing every mistake Madrid made. For Real Madrid, the defeat wasn't just about tactics. It exposed the internal cracks that have been spreading quietly behind the scenes. The atmosphere at Valdebebas is described as extremely tense. Xabi Alonso, once welcomed as a savior, is slowly losing his grip on the dressing room. Reports from Defensa and Spanish media say the squad is now clearly divided. A core group of influential stars, including Vinicius Jr., Jude Bellingham, Fede Valverde, Rodrigo, and even Endrick, are reportedly losing faith in Alonso's methods. Some of them have openly expressed the desire for a change on the Real Madrid bench. The sight of Real Madrid's players collapsing to the turf after the final whistle said far more than fatigue. It was the image of a team drained of belief, torn apart mentally, and no longer united behind their coach. And that reality stood in sharp contrast to Alonso's insistence that his squad had fought until the very last minute. This result drops Real Madrid to 7th place in their Champions League group, putting them at real risk of being forced into the playoff round unless they fix their form immediately. Their last two group stage hurdles, Monaco and Benfica, now coached by Jose Mourinho. You couldn't script a more dramatic twist, the special one returning to face a collapsing Real Madrid. But before worrying about the opponents, President Florentino Perez has a bigger problem to solve: Xabi Alonso. Perez is not known for patience when results dip, especially when the dressing room shows signs of rebellion. After 7 months in charge, Alonso's tactical identity has faded instead of growing. One win in their last 5 La Liga games, plus a humiliating home loss to Manchester City. The list of accusations against him keeps getting longer. Real Madrid now enter the most delicate stretch of the season on shaky legs. Alonso, once seen as the symbol of a new era, now stands alone in the eye of the storm. He needs wins, but the wins keep slipping away. He needs the trust of his players, but what he's getting instead feels like indifference or quiet resistance. The 2-1 loss to City might not be the final blow, but it feels like the start of the end. The question now is simple: how much time does Xabi Alonso have left? And at a club where there is no room for failure, the answer is coming soon, and it might be as ruthless as Haaland's strike from the penalty spot.